Yep, now we are live, I'm pretty sure. So, again, hello everyone. This is the third stream on this channel. As I mentioned, I would like to stream more often, so hopefully it's going to work well. And yeah, again, today we'll be working on the Lightbearer, which is the project we've also worked on during the last stream. So, yeah, I think we can get straight into it. Unfortunately, I didn't have that much time to work on it because there's just so much other stuff. Also some freelance work, YouTube. So it's quite a lot of stuff, but yeah, finally we are back here. So let's take a look at that. Last time I mentioned some memory leaks, which were pretty big. It was taking up really gigabytes of space, and they were caused mainly by the logic that I had for the light calculation. Because as this is a horror game, roguelike game, light is one of the main mechanics. So quite often you need to know what is the level of the light at some place. So for this I've set up the script, which you probably have already seen last time. It should be in the lights, I think, light utils. And there was just really one tiny mistake that was pretty obvious that was causing the memory leaks. So the script is pretty simple. It is just reading a texture that I'm rendering through a camera, and it is reading the pixels from it, and then it is checking for the pixel color. So based on that, I'm getting the light level. And the thing that I had set up wrongly was that I was constantly creating new texture to the Ascension update. It just depends on how often I call it. So before I had this line somewhere over here in the function itself, which obviously caused all the leaks. So now it's much better. Still, this way of doing it is probably not the best, and I should probably change it later. I was thinking about just manually keeping track of all of the lights, which I'm already doing because I have some kind of manager script for the lights. I think it is some kind of light manager. It should be... where is it? Yeah, I just have a light manager, this one, which is keeping track of all the lights. So using that, I should definitely be able to just go through them, check for the ranges of the lights, check for the intensities, and based on that, also I should be able to get the light levels. Or I think I should be able to do something like that using shaders, but I didn't really want to get into that because I know that shaders can take quite a long time to learn. And right now I would rather just make some progress and yeah, add some new content to the game. So today we'll be working pretty much on where we have left off last time, which is it's going to be the fire, which is supposed to generate the light. Because as this is a horror game, the main currency we have is the light. So I can try to play it and show you. So the basic tool we have is kind of this flashlight, which you can power up using those light orbs. Right now it doesn't work the best, there are some bugs, but the main thing is working. Using the flashlight, we can make those shadow bugs, as I call them, go away, and stuff like that. But right now there is not really a way to generate these light orbs, which will be used to power pretty much all of the lights. So that's what we'll be doing using the fire. We'll just get some wood, put it into the fire, and it's going to generate those light orbs. Should be pretty straightforward. I was also thinking about just making the fuel actually generate the light, because right now the fuel is going to generate the light orb, and using the light orb you can power up the lights. But I think that using the light orbs it could be kind of more universal, let's say, that you can really transform any kind of fuel into any kind of light. But I obviously plan to have different types of lights, where each one of them is going to have some different effects, different damage, stuff like that. So yeah, let's take a look into the fire we have. So far there's really nothing inside of it. I see I've made a base class for light generator, which is storing the fuel type, the maximum fuel, some kind of cooldown, after which it's going to generate the light orb. We have the current fuel, which I see we have the function to add the fuel. Constantly we are calling the cooldown function, we are checking if we can generate a light. If we can generate a light, then I guess we are just going to instantiate it. I think that I have some kind of object pooler. and it should be this one, I think. Object pool, instantiate, and we are going to instantiate a light. And because I use that prefab quite often, I've made some kind of scene, how is it called? Global references, this script, which is a singleton, and it is holding references to all of the important prefabs and that stuff I have. I'm not sure if it's the best way to do it, but I just find it quite convenient that I have all of the important prefabs in one place, and I don't have to be constantly creating new variables for them. I can just access the singleton. So in general, singletons are considered to be the anti-pattern, but I still find some places to use it. So let's do global references.i, which is short for instance, and then we have the light collectible. That's what I need, that's the light orb. We're going to instantiate it. At which position? Let's do probably just the transform position plus some kind of random, or maybe we could use do tween to animate it, but for now let's make it quite simple. Vector2 spawn position, and I'll just zoom in a little bit for you, you can see it. Okay, anyways, are you all doing good? I didn't really what did I want to say? I don't see anything in the chat, but I guess some of you will come later, we'll see. So yeah, let's get the spawn position. We'll do transform dot position and add some kind of random position to it. So we can do inside unit circle, and that's not a function, I'm pretty sure. This is going to give us vector3, vector2, so let's cast this as a vector2. Sadly what? You doing good or not? So let's cast it. Just like that. Let's use the spawn position. And just I don't think I even have to input the quaternion for the rotation. Parent. Let's do just this transform. Just like so. And yeah, this should be it for the generation of the light. I suppose this is going to be the same for all of the generators. I'm out on a rant, so I can't really see the code. Well, that's fine. Surely, can watch it later. So we have this for the fire. What is really going to be different about the fire? I mean the fire, the fuel type and all that, but I have this already here. We can probably also add some kind of lights, for which I have a class that's called light effect, which is adding some kind of effect. For the fire, I have some kind of flickering effect, which is just changing the intensity, the outer radius and that stuff. Just came across your channel randomly on YouTube as a recommendation. Yeah, that's great. I hope you will enjoy it here. As I mentioned at the start, we are working at my own game, which is called Lightbearer, just a working name for the project. And yeah, I'm hoping to make something fun out of it. It's a great resource for Unity. Yeah, thank you very much. That's what I'm trying. It's what my the main thing I do here on YouTube, teach other people. What type of game developing? It's a roguelike horror game. It's really basic so far. As I mentioned, there's already a lot of other work that I have to do, but then in my free time I really love to work on this. So we have to wait for Unity again, the annoying compiling scripts. So far what I have are some basic light mechanics, the player, the flashlight. We can collect these light orbs, which power up the flashlight. You have some basic enemies, those are called shadow bugs, which kind of go onto the light, they may make it weaker. And as I come closer, they're just going to get away. We need to give it some time, just like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Very basic so far. The environment in which it will be is a lighthouse. So through the night, you'll be defending it. At the day, you're going to find some resources, build some kind of traps. Pretty much the whole game is based around light, which I think is a great mechanic for horror game. And yeah, let's take a look at the fire we have. So we should probably make some interaction with that, so that we can actually give it some fuel. And on the cooldown, generate light. So we definitely need to check if there actually is some fuel. And how do we do this? Yeah, I guess we just keep the cooldown running. Or yeah, I guess if there is no fuel, we probably shouldn't run the cooldown at all. That's going to be the best way. So if current fuel is just less or equal to 0, let's return. Otherwise, otherwise I just keep increasing this. And yeah, I think this should be enough for it to generate light, hopefully. Let's see. We obviously have to add the script. That's the thing that I forget to do all the time. I guess I can just add it over here. Is it this one? Yeah. Fuel type wood, maximum fuel, cooldown. Let's make it 5 seconds just for testing. And let's see if it's going to spawn anything or not. So far, it doesn't seem to. So let's try the debug mode if we can see some variables. Current fuel is on 0. Makes sense. So I guess that from start, let's just set the current fuel to the maximum fuel. So private void start. I hate this thing in Visual Studio where when you kind of start typing, let's say the beginning of the function, like private void, and you use start, because there's a snippet made for it. When you use that snippet, it also adds the private void again. I'm not sure why they made it this way. I guess that you can simply just write start and it's going to work. But yeah, let's do current fuel is equal to max fuel, just for testing, as I said. And that should work. What is going on? Yeah, I need to play it, of course. What about you guys? Are you working on any games, any projects, something you want to share? You can see it is increasing. Oh, that's quite a lot of light. Should not be happening. Yeah, we have to reset the cooldown. Elapsed time is equal to 0. Should be it. I feel like most of the time when I'm working with Unity, I'm just waiting for Unity to compile the stuff and that. I think they should do something about it in Unity 7 or some of the next versions, which I think will be really great. As it's going to all kind of run in background, you won't have to wait for the code compilation. Yeah, it seems to be working. Yeah, the way you structure code looks very good. Yeah, thank you. I must have been designing games for 5+ years. It's generally quite bad. Yeah, it depends. But if the code is bad, but you still are able to release games, make them work, then it's probably better than writing really clean code, but having nothing to release, which is kind of my case so far. Also, my kind of excuse for that is that I don't have much time, but everyone has the same amount of time, so that's quite a bad excuse. But yeah, I'm first trying to focus on the code quality and then hopefully make something big one day. We'll see. But I would really need to work on it much more than just a few hours every week. Just too little. But yeah, I like to write clean code since it's an easy expandable, and most of the time you I shouldn't say it's easy. Obviously, if you write clean code, you will still then come up to many problems but yeah, I like it that way. Okay, we have this basic part, and then we'll need to make some kind of interaction with the player, maybe some kind of inventory system. My focus has always been generally been functionality rather than efficiency. Yeah, definitely, I totally understand you. Um, as I mentioned, it's definitely better to have something working than have the cleanest code but nothing to show. It's kind of pointless. Yeah, you definitely have to find the balance for that. That's for sure. So I'm now thinking about how we make the inventory for the player, because I kind of like games where you don't have much UI, where everything is kind of symbolized. Let's say, in this case, I'm not really showing, let's say, count of the light that the flashlight has somewhere as a bar or something like that. I have it kind of directly on the flashlight itself, even though right now you cannot see that well. There are actually bars that are showing you how much light you have. These light slots. I'm not sure why they are not visible right now. I guess if I play it, you will see it. So I would like to make it just have minimal UI. Just like the flashlight, you see it's really tiny, but there are these slots which light up when you have the light inside of the flashlight. So I'm thinking, how could we make it with the inventory? Because I could definitely add some kind of normal inventory, just add icon of wood and some number next to it. But I would like to think about a different mechanic. I'm now thinking maybe some kind of card that we could move around, and you could actually see all of the resources you have inside of it. Yeah, hi, Mr. Buy. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but I am happy that you are all here. I hope you are doing good today, that you are enjoying the stream. And yeah, feel free to give me any feedback on the game. I know that right now there is really not much going on, but if you have any suggestions, that would be great. So right now I'm trying to come up with some interesting inventory system that would have minimal UI, because I don't want to have just a basic inventory where you have 10 coal, 5 wood. I mean, it works, but you don't really feel like you actually have the resources, as it is just a number somewhere. So yeah, as I mentioned, we could have some kind of cart for transportation that would be moving around. That could be pretty interesting mechanic, which would mean that even when you, let's say, have the resources, they are like not always with you. So you have to kind of manage the transportation, which I think would create some really interesting situations. That could be really interesting, I think. Bro, how long have you been interested in this business? It's been, I don't know, 6 years. Just recently I have been looking at my Unity license for how long I had it. I think you should even be able to see it somewhere over here. From 2017, so that's already 5 plus 3 years, 8 years. That's quite a long time. But when I was starting with game dev for the first like 4-5 years, I was not really serious. I was still very young, and I was mainly experimenting. I would say that now for the last 3 years or so, I've been really kind of more focused in it. I've been trying to learn more, and yeah, I haven't really released anything apart from some smaller app and stuff like that. I would like to do that soon. We will see. Hi, bro. How are you doing? Yeah, hello. Hello, Mr. Yaprak. I have, again, no idea how to read that, but I hope that you are doing good. I'm doing good as well. I will be going climbing in about an hour, so I'm looking forward to that. And then we are working on this horror game, roguelike, and I think that I have maybe right now come up with a interesting inventory system. So let's open the famous paint for that. I'm not really sure what I will be painting, but I'm thinking that we just have some kind of transportation cart that we can move around, and as we collect some resources, you will see them just inside of the cart. So you will see some kind of coal, you will see some kind of wood, maybe some kind of gasoline. It depends on what we add in there. And now as I'm thinking about the resources, I'm not sure where we'll be able to find them. If we'll be actually digging the coal somewhere, or It's definitely something I didn't really think about at all, even though I have a lot of ideas for the game. Maybe you have some ideas you can share, that will be great. Yeah, I've thought about all the mechanics, using the light, enemies, and obviously all the ideas are still not enough for a complete game, but I definitely have something, but really no ideas related to how we get the resources, I think. Light traps, all kinds of interesting stuff. But where do we get the resources from? I mean, if we want to make it kind of the usual way, we can probably just go cut down a tree, mine some coal, stuff like that. That could maybe be interesting, but I'm not sure if it's then maybe going to turn more into a strategy game, but could be interesting as well. Game mechanics. Yeah, I was mainly focusing on the mechanics of the dark. What is your Instagram username? I don't really have a business Instagram, you could say. I have just my personal, and yeah, I'm not really looking to share that, even though it's just username is my name, so you could definitely find that. But I don't have an Instagram like Freedom Coding, not yet. Why don't you making it multiplayer? Well, for multiplayer you actually need people who would play it. So if I someday release this game, I will be happy if I get few people, and I'm not sure about multiplayer. It would complicate everything, and multiplayer games are definitely fun, but I didn't really think about that too much, to be honest. Maybe some other game, we'll see. Yeah, I tried not to overload pledge with too much UI. It can be avoided, having elements integrated into the environments. Yeah, that's great that we are thinking about it the same way. Yeah, so I think this could be a nice mechanic with the card, that you would have to move it around, make sure that you have enough resources inside of it, and stuff like that. That could definitely be interesting. So I guess why not do that, right? So we have the fire. I guess that for now. I will just write it down so that I don't forget it. As I said, there's already a ton of ideas. So let's write it somewhere in here. Light generation, that's kind of done. And then we'll have item transportation. Why cannot I write? This will be using a card you can move around. That's that. And I don't really like having so many placeholders in the game. We have the fire, so I'm thinking whether we could maybe try to draw something. Something basic. I created a nice map and wrote half of the game for game in 1 month. What do you think of my progress? Wrote the code for half of the game. Well, it's definitely great progress. If in 1 month you have written code for half of the game, that's amazing progress. It obviously depends on how big the game is. But anyways, I would say you're definitely doing great. Feel free to share the project somewhere if you want. Let's say on the Discord. I know that not many people comment there, but definitely you can share it there. So let's make the fire. I hope you're not going to... I hope that your eyes are not going to hurt from the drawing I make. So first, how big is it going to be? I think that this lantern is 16 by 16. Yeah, 16 by 16. So if we make it 32 by 32, that should be good. So how do we make it look like a fire? How does even fire look? Let me Google something. Or it's not really fire, it's more like fireplace, I think. Oh, fireplace. Okay. Yeah, let's try something. How do we make a fire? I think that I have most of the things kind of top down. I mean, the lantern is not top down, so I'm thinking whether should I make it like top down or just from the side view. I guess from the side it's going to be easier, hopefully, because from the top, how do you kind of paint it from the top? You have the wood like this, and then some fire in the middle. I guess I'll make it from the side. It's going to be better. So what kind of colors? I have mostly some dark colors, but I don't want it to be too dark. So let's try to make a log like this. Yeah, hi Mr. Jandev. I think you are from Poland, that you made the Discord for me, right? Hey, it's great to have all of you here. I hope that you're enjoying my terrible drawing so far. Steam game download. Steam. Does it mean that I can download it on Steam, or I'm not sure what exactly you mean by that. I don't know, let's just add a few logs of different color. Hopefully it's going to look like something. I haven't really drawn art for a long time, so I definitely am not saying that I am an expert. I'm really terrible at this. Just to make something that we can work with. You know, it doesn't have to be always perfect. Something like this. And then if we make the flame itself, I would like to use the same colors I have for the candle, but I guess it's not really going to matter. I'm from Czech Republic, in the middle of the Europe, and I really love it here. It's great country. How do we make the fire? Oh, something like this doesn't look too bad. Just for a placeholder is definitely better than a white square, so that I actually know what I'm looking at in the game. It's really terrible, but whatever. Let's add more colors to this. I'm not sure if the yellow should be more in the middle or more outside. I guess in the middle. Something like that. I didn't really expect that I will be drawing on this stream, but whatever. We have something at least. Just like that. Okay. Let's export it somewhere. I have a folder for that. Let's call it Fire. Fire 1 probably, so I will be making multiple versions, I guess. Let's save it here, export. Are you studying at a university? I'm studying at high school currently. There's just one more year to finish, or like 1 year and 2 months, as this year is already almost ending. Yeah, I'm not planning to go to university, at least right now, because I've learned everything I know on my own, and I don't find school that valuable, even though obviously it depends on the school, on the teachers. But yeah, I prefer studying on my own, and I'm mostly looking forward to actually having the time for game development, all of that. So yeah, I'm not planning to go there right now. So where do I have it? Documents, Lightbearer, Fire. As I mentioned, it's just a placeholder. Yes and no. What do you mean by that? That you agree? Kind of. Where do I have the fire? Here it is. Sprite, I don't need a debug mode. So let's change that. What should this be? 32? No, it should be probably 16, or how did I set it? For the lantern, it is 25. Okay. Still feels kind of small. I think it should be bigger in comparison to the lantern I have. Okay, makes sense. Scale has to be on 111. Definitely looks better than nothing. So we have this. And how old are you? I am currently 18. Quite quite old, I would say, but yeah, at least I can drive a car and stuff like that. You know, that's great. So we have the fire, and yeah, let's take a look at the card. So again, let's make another placeholder for that. Some kind of simple square is going to do it for sure. And yeah, so let's make a script for that. What is the game about? It is a horror roguelike game, mostly focusing on the light mechanics. Right now, as I've shown you already, there's not much. We have some basic flashlight, which we can power by collecting more of these light orbs. There are some enemies. It is going to be happening in a lighthouse. It's going to be your base pretty much, and you just have to defend it. This is supposed to be kind of the main light of the lighthouse. Yeah, see you, Mr. Yaprak. Thanks for coming. So this is the main light of the lighthouse. I have some basic enemies that come to it, make the light weaker. That's it, just a roguelike horror game about defending a lighthouse. So yeah, let's take a look at the card we have right here. Let's make new folder for the scripts. Let's say transportation, something like that. And yeah, we'll just make a simple script card. Let's put it on here. Again, Unity doing some weird stuff, cannot be found. Yeah, let's just again wait for that. Have you heard anything about the newer versions of Unity, like Unity 7? I think that they mentioned they want to make just overall the development process much, let's say, faster, in the sense that you won't have to be waiting for all of that code compilation, which I think is going to be great. I'm not sure if they have announced it somewhere or I just heard it from some video, something like that. I cannot remember. So we have the card. We will need some items. So let's make a scriptable object likely. That's probably the best way to handle items. So scripts, transportation, interactables. Let's put it in here maybe, or in here, whatever. So let's have some kind of item scriptable object. That's going to be the best way to do it. So some kind of namespace. Well, let's keep it as it is. It should be a scriptable object. Again, this snippet, I don't really want that. I know how to do it on my own. So this thing, create a set menu, file name is equal to, let's say item, menu name is equal to, let's do scriptable objects slash item, and each item is going to have some kind of name. Again, it hides the inherited member. I don't think that really matters right now. I use Unity 6 and I don't know anything about Unity 7. Oh yeah, I use Unity 6 as well. Obviously, nothing newer is out yet. But I have heard something like that. From where you learn C# scripting, it's a combination of pretty much everything. YouTube tutorials, Wikipedia, experimentation. There's not really a single place that you should learn it at, I think. It's always a combination of everything, at least for me. And yeah, mainly the experience, just trying it out, trying new stuff. Also reading books. I have clean code right here. I haven't read it yet fully. I am like on page 100, I think, 130. But yeah, reading books, I would say, is one of the best sources of information, since it really kind of gets into your subconscious mind when you learn something about it, and then you kind of automatically think about the code in a different way. And I've also read Code Complete 2, which is a thick book. It's like 1000 pages, but that one was great as well. I must be living in prehistoric times working in version 2022. Well, I use it also for some projects, I think. 2022 I have it for a client project, and my own project is actually using 2021, even older, because I'm just lazy to migrate it to the newer version, and I basically don't want to break anything. That's why I guess it's the same for you, that you just stay at the older version because you don't want to break anything. I might try to make a quick project in Unity 6. I think you should definitely try it. It's... You have the same book? Oh, that's great. Have you read it already? It's a pretty great book. Pretty great book. So let's add the sprite for the icon. I guess this is going to be enough for now. So then in the cart we have, let's just make a simple list. I think I will make it CUI's field, so we can add some items from default maybe. CUI's field, private list of item SO. Oops, what am I doing? Private list, item SO, items. I don't know what I did wrong here. Probably just some namespace missing. I cannot really think and speak at the same time. I am not used to these live streams, but yeah, I'm planning to do more, so that will be great. We have the items. I'm thinking whether I will be storing just the items kind of as single items in the list. So when I have 5 pieces of wood, I will have 5 items in the list, which I guess should be fine. We don't really need to overcomplicate it with these stacks and that stuff. So we have the list. Then we should also have some function that's going to update the graphic, just show all of the items that we have. So let's say, how do we do that? I would say update items. Why not? It's going to work well. Let's call it on start for the first time, so that we show all of the items that we have from start, and then as we add more items and so on, it's also going to update them. So I guess we can have another function, add item. We will take in the item SO, just like that. We will add it into the list. Some really simple stuff. Item SO, just like that. Oops. Then we also need to subtract the item. Sorry, I'm not used to be speaking for this long. How much time do you spend on programming per day? It depends on what you count as programming. Overall, working at my computer, either in Unity or programming, I would say I spend probably like 5 hours maybe, because I obviously go to school, so I'm there till like 3 p.m. usually. So then from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. you have like 6 hours. So I would say that like 5 hours of that I work on coding, Unity, stuff like that. Is there a place to link our work for feedback and opinions in your Discord, or can we just link the stuff in general page? I would link to some previous work of mine. That would be great if you could show me what you have done. Yeah, I think you can really send it wherever you want, since there's not really many people talking in the Discord. So yeah, I will see what are the chats that we have, but I guess maybe we can do achievements. That one should be the best place for it. So yeah, definitely share your own projects. That will be interesting. So let's continue on that. We will add the items. We also need to update them. Update items. And I'm thinking how we make it with the interaction. Whether the player will be the one who is going to be putting the item into the fire, or it will be the card, but I think this shouldn't really matter. Still, we need some function that's going to just remove the item from it. And this should also be public. So it's going to be pretty same. Public void. I think this could be just a boolean to try to subtract the item. So it's also going to tell us if we actually have the item or not. So we tell it try to subtract the item, some item. We are going to check if we have it. Based on that, we'll return either true or false. So let's do if items contains this item SO, then we are going to remove it. Items remove item SO. I'm not sure if that's actually going to work, because item SO is a class, but I think it should be able to remove it this way. So then we do return true that we have the item. Otherwise, let's just return false, meaning that we don't have the item. And then we can update the items right in here. That's going to work well. Okay, we have some basic setup for this. So then let's check it in Unity to see that everything looks as it should. So we have the card with the items. Let's maybe create some instances of that. So I'm saying so all the time. Just a filler word. Let's do items. Create, oops, not that. Create scriptable objects item. Let's call this wood. Some basic sprite, whatever. Let's give it this one. Something for testing. Wood. And let's say coal. Whatever. Let's do this one. Coal. And then we should probably display the items in the card. Since we have the list, we have the function that's going to update it. So how do we do that? It would be pretty simple to do it with UI, which I guess is the way that we do it. That we'll have the layout group and that stuff. Yeah, see you, Mr. Yandev. It's great that you have been here. See you next time. So I think I will make just a word space UI for that. So let's make a canvas, make it world space, and I will have to make it a lot smaller. I don't know why even world canvases are this big. Probably some historical reason for that. Where is it? Oh, all the way over here. Yep, this looks better. Still cannot see how big it is. I guess it's really big. I don't know, we'll see. Let's add the layout group, for which I'll just add an empty parent. Let's say items. So do the grid layout group, which is going to be really simple. That's also what I use for the inventories and that stuff. I think that's what most of you already know. And if we add, let's say, an image, yeah, it's right over here. I don't know why is it scaled in this weird way. What is causing that? I think that from default it should be like really a square. Oops, what is What is happening? We have the image. I'm quite confused. It shouldn't look like this, I think. Well, anyways, what happens if we set something to it? It's kind of stretched, but it says that width is 100. Oh, I guess the parent is, yeah, the scale of the parent. Classic mistake with the parents. So let's make a parent for the card. This is the parent, and this is the sprite. So let's put this under the card, canvas as well. Now it should be okay. Let's put it to 0, 0. And the sprite, that's okay. Canvas, yeah, let's make it. Oh, I guess that I don't have to be changing the scale, but then everything is kind of too big. Because you can also do it using the width and height, but I usually do it using the combination. So I guess it's still too big. I cannot even see it. We have the item. Make sure it is all scaled correctly. Why is it still something wrong? Why is this? Again, Unity just doing some of its own stuff. So let's make it like this. Canvas, items, image. I guess let's make it even smaller. 0.5 maybe. Maybe even smaller. Also, I would like to keep the scale of the image on 1. So I'm rather going to scale this down. Let's say 0.4. Oops. Just like that. That looks pretty good. So now let's position it correctly, so when we add more items, it actually looks right. So on the parent, we should do constraint. Let's do fixed column count, I guess. Or maybe row. Let's have just 2 rows. We need to scale this down even more. Let's use this thing. 25, maybe. Let's try it. It's probably going to be too small. Let's make this a bit bigger. It should be a very big cart, I think. So we can carry some wood, coal, and that stuff. So let's do 0.4. Let's also add some spacing. Should be right here. How much? Like 10? Maybe 15, 20. Looks pretty good. Let's add it over here. Just like that. So we should be able to fit 8. I think this looks pretty good. So let's scale this up a little. Hi, bro. Yeah, see you next time. And it's great that you have all been here. Yeah, it's really great, the streaming, that I can talk with you, because when recording the videos, you know, I record it alone, and then I just see some messages. It doesn't feel like the live stream. Just like this, and this should look right. Okay, so I guess I will make prefab, or I'm not sure if I should be instantiating them or just changing the images. Because if we change the image to null, yeah, it's going to look like this. I probably don't want that. Yeah, because I'm using the object pooling, it should be fine to just instantiate them and so on. So let's say that this is going to be the item prefab. Let's put it somewhere over here. Just like so, remove that. And I'm going to add it into the card script. Okay, I have it here. It should be over here. Let's add this one, and a variable for that. Let's add it over here. Private, I need transform game object, probably doesn't matter, which is going to be item prefab, just like that. And I also need a parent, serialize field, transform for the items parent, pretty basic stuff. When we edit, I'm just going to add it under the parent. So again, let's use the object pooling for that. Let's do object pooling, instantiate. The prefab is the item prefab. Position doesn't matter. Let's do vector2.0. Game name of my game. Right now the working name is Slide Bearer, but in the end it may be something different. This name actually was created by AI, so I don't take any credit for it. I just found it pretty cool, and since English is not my first language, I didn't even know what the bearer word means. Alright, I decided to link my work in the game dev section. Feel free to check it out if you have time and just general projects, item for university. That's really great. I will definitely check it out, maybe even now, just to take a peek at it. Let's see. Oh, looks really cool. Yeah, looks like some fun games. I see it on itch.io, so I will definitely take a look at it after. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. Looks pretty interesting. So let's do the parent. And when you're subtracting the items, how do we do that? We should probably have some script on the items itself, so that then we can check for the type and remove it. That's probably going to be the easiest way. Let's go over here, create new script for that. Item SO. I usually call it item display, which is going to be on the actual sprite or the image we have. Display. Again, let's wait for Unity. In the meantime, I'm going to put my table down so I can sit. Oops, something happened with my monitor. Okay. For some reason my monitor doesn't like it when I'm moving my table down, but it seems to work. I want to have a simulation game made. I will tell the story. You will only write C# from the map and game objects. How much does it cost? I'm not sure if I'm currently free for some freelance work, because I already have quite a lot of stuff to do. And you can probably either write me here or maybe to my email, which is, I can probably even send it to the chat, marek.freedom.coding@gmail.com. That should be the one, Marek Freedom Coding. So you can send me the idea you have there, if you want. And how much does it cost? I can't really estimate that up front. I take like 20 to 25 euros per hour, it depends. And just let me know what kind of project it is, how much work you would expect from me, and I will take a look at it. Sure, it sounds interesting. So, where was I? Yeah, we have the item display. So let's add it to the prefab I have. It's right here, item display, so that we actually know what type of item it is storing. It could also have some kind of function that's going to set the sprite. So let's make it probably public, because we want to be able to get it. I'm thinking I should maybe have a getter and setter for it, because when we set the sprite, we should also run some function that's going to update it. Yeah, let's do it. So just a private variable for the item so, and then public void set item so. Item so. Let's just set it, and also a variable for the image. CSS field private image should be this one, just like so. Set item so. So we can just set it. Let's add the underscore over here. Item so is equal to item so, and image dot sprite is equal to item so. Some pretty basic stuff. Item so dot icon, of course, just like this, and also public void should be public item so get item so, just like that, and just return item so. Some really basic code we have. And in the card, or where was I? We instantiated and when we want to remove it, we will just go through all of the children, and I think that when we instantiate it, we should also call the function on it. So let's probably just write it here. Get component, it should be, I think it should be right on it. So let's get the item display and call the function set item so to the item we are trying to add. Item so. What are you making, bro? I'm working on a roguelike horror game, my own. I don't have that much time for it, so I've read some basic stuff so far. I have just a player with a flashlight, some kind of lanterns, because it is a horror game, so I thought that the main mechanic could be actually based around the light, unexpectedly. So yeah, I can show you what I have so far. If we run it, we have the basic flashlight, we can pick up these light orbs, and we can also fill in the fuel inside of these lanterns. We can take it out, fill it in. We have some enemies, shadow bugs, we just go into the light. Right now it seems like they are committing suicide, but I'm not sure what's happening, because I should be able to kill them, they shouldn't be dying on their own. And yeah, right now we are working on some light generation. So I have this fire, which is generating the light orbs, and we are also working on some items. So I have this card, if you didn't guess that already, just a placeholder, in which you'll be transporting the items. So I'm making the code for that right now. So far it's really simple, just instantiating the items, setting some scriptable objects, and yeah, when you subtract the item, we will need to go through all of the children of the item's parent. So let's do it. Yeah, let's do it here. Or we could also probably link the scriptable object to the object itself, but I don't think this really matters right now. We don't have to overcomplicate it. Let's keep it as it is. Or, I probably shouldn't be doing it this way. Yeah, instead I will just run it in the update items function. Or, yeah, right now I've kind of combined it. That I'm instantiating the items here, but I was also thinking it should happen in the update items function. We should probably keep it only in one place. And it will likely be more performant to do it only for the items that we need to. Because I was thinking that in the update function, update items will just destroy all of them and instantiate all of the new items. Hello, Mr. Coco Maxonian. I hope I read that right. I hope you are doing good today. We are working on a horror roguelike game. And now we are making some items, some transportation for that. We have a simple cart. So that's what we are doing. Yeah, so how do we do it with instantiating and deleting the items? I'm not sure if I always need to instantiate all of them again. It seems kind of unnecessary to be doing this way. And yeah, but I'm thinking if we already have some items in here, and then I guess that should be fine. Because if we remove the item from the cart in this function, it means that likely some spaces in the cart will be empty and it's not going to be kind of ordered together. But I think that's actually going to be more natural if you just, let's say, take it from here. Because otherwise, if you would make it using the update items function, always the items would get reordered. So they would be like in a line, which I don't think will make sense. So I guess let's do it this way. That's going to be kind of more natural. So how do we do it in here? Yeah, we just loop through the items. So then I guess we don't really need the update items function. That's kind of pointless right now. But we should probably have it for start. Yeah, on start we are just going to add all of them. That should be easy. Yeah, I'm thinking about two things at once. So let's first destroy it. So we'll go through all of the children. Again, this weird stuff. We'll go through all of the children in the items parent. And we will just, again, we'll need to be getting the component, but whatever. I know that some of you may say that it's not performant, but I don't really care right now. Let's just get it, get the item SO, and as soon as we find item SO that is matching the item we want to remove, item SO, let's just do T, game object, or let's do it this way, destroy, T game object, just like that. And then we can probably return. It doesn't really matter whether we do it here or here. Let's keep it like that. And then on start, let's make sure that all of the items that are there from start actually get populated as well. So let's do another for each item SO, item SO in items, and let's just add all of them. That should be quite simple. Okay, let's see if that works. So far there was not really a way for us to actually add the item or take it out, but it should be done only about actually checking if the player is near the card and near the file as well, and then just call these functions. I see I didn't set the image for that. And now, as I have set some items that should be here from start, let's also set the prefab, the parent, should be this one. Yeah, we can set one of them is here, but not more. Yeah, again, this error, collection was modified, enumeration operation may not execute. I know I have already gotten this few times. Let's see how we can fix that. Line 12 over here. I mean, we are really just looping through the items. Oh, I see that. This is causing pretty much infinite loop, because we are going through them, we are adding them, which is adding more of them, so then we are going through more of them, which obviously doesn't work. So I guess we'll just keep it simple. Add this one over here, and that will do it. Let's see. Yep, we can see both of them right here. Okay, I think I'm going to end the stream here. We have done quite a bit of work. And yeah, that's it. We have added a card, added a fire. Quite a lot of work in just 1 hour. So yeah, I hope that you have enjoyed it here. That will maybe maybe come the next time. Who knows when that will be, but I want to be making more streams. It's probably not going to be until Monday, because I'll be traveling. But then, on the next week, there could surely be another stream. I'll also be working on another YouTube video. I'm not sure yet what it's going to be about. I have really many ideas for next videos. I'm thinking I've actually posted a post on YouTube where you can vote for what you would want to be the next video about. I think that so far most people want some kind of it was definitely about the patterns, some kind of pattern. So I'm thinking about the prototype pattern, which is pretty simple but could be interesting. Or I have some other patterns as well. And also quite a few of you wanted to see, I think, some tools for Unity, which Unitask is definitely great. C# R3, I haven't used this one yet, but it also looked pretty interesting, so I could take a look at that. Nice ones, yeah, yes, you as well. Yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed it here. So yeah, see you next time, and have a great day. Bye.